Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, in this occasion, I want to present to you about my research with title "Vengeance Reflected in Alexander Dumas' Novel The Count of Monte Cristo: A Romanticism's Approach." Now, the reason I choose to research about this kind of particular title is because, as you know, literature is one of the tools that humans use to rely on portray their emotion. Because through literary work, through the literature, human can express their emotions such as love, sorrow, revenge, and many other kind of emotions. The reason why the researcher, which is I, choose this particular novel, The Count of Monte Cristo, because this novel is its plot, its story is are portraying one of the main emotion which the human has, which is revenge. And that's why I choose to focus this research on how the romanticisms, which is in this case the obsession of the revenge by the main character Edmond Dantes, being portrayed in the novel. Now, from that, I choose to focus my study into three main questions. First is, what are the characteristics of romanticism in the work? What I mean in this question is how it's likely the romanticism is affecting the characteristic in the novel. Second is, how is romanticism depicted in the work? For this question, I want to analyze how the author portrays romanticism in his work. The third is, why did the author specifically address romanticism in the work? For this question, I want to know why the author, which is Alexander Dumas, choose to portray romanticism in this novel in his unique way. Now, related to the previous slide, we will have three main objectives of this study of this research. First is how to identify the kind of characteristic of romanticism which is being portrayed in the novel. The second is how the author described romanticism, which being related with the vengeance act that being executed by Edmond Dantes, the main protagonist. And the third is to reveal or to research the reason why the author choose to address romanticism in his novel in such kind of unique way. Next, we will have underlying theories. For these underlying theories, we will have some of them. First is a notion. As you know, romanticism is can be called a movement which began in the 18th century, which the first movement is the main objective of the movement is to refuse to acknowledge the philosophy that happened in the age of enlightenment. The second will be main tenets, because romanticism itself basically has four basic principles, which include the unity, possibility, separation of nature, and interpretation of a study of human spiritual universe. And the last will be key terms. There will be next we will have method. Now for this particular study, the researcher you decide to use library research method by using romanticism approach to analyze the novel Count of Monte Cristo. The types of data and data source. There are two kinds of data which the researcher use. First is primary data. This kind of data collected from the main object of the research, which is the novel, in which the researcher will focus on the dialogue and monologue which the main character Edmond Dantes are taking part. The second type of data will be secondary data. This secondary data will be collected from other sources such as internet or other references. Next, we will have object of the study. The object of the study, as already mentioned before in the previous slide, will be the novel written by Alexander Dumas with title The Count of Monte Cristo, in which the researcher will try to use the transcript, with specifically dialogue and monologue of the main protagonist, to assess how his act of vengeance will seen from the romanticism approach. Next, the method of collecting data. In this study, the researcher tried to use the method of document analysis, in which the researcher will help to find a data which will be found in the novel of Count of Monte Cristo. This kind of method being used to understand the context as well the content, so that the researcher can identify and therefore can select the data which will be used to find the answer which related to the three main research questions. Next, we have technique of analyzing data. To get the answer for research question, the writer you begin to use to analyze data systematically using hermeneutic method. This to interpret the work using the data that has been collected. Maybe that's all that I can share to you, that I can present to you in this occasion. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.